Chapter 11. Jewel looks out to Nathan and Jade, then to Jade and to Nathan again. It has been silent in the car for a few minutes now, but Jewel knows that on the charge nearby, inside, Vanessa's loudly freaking out amidst her wedding rehearsal. "So," she finally said, "what do you guys think?" "A wedding?" Jewel exclaimed. You're asking me to be at a wedding? As a bridesmaid?" The girl huffed out a long sigh. "I'm sorry, Miss Jewel. I think this is already too much. But it's the least I can do for my sister," she implores. "One of the bridesmaids and the groomsmen just broke up earlier this morning. And yeah, good for them for figuring out they're not meant for each other, but bad for my sister missing two people and the attendees. And Miss Bridesmaid already flew to Cebu at this very moment. And I can't think of anything else." She manages a desperate shrug. "The wedding's in 6 days, and I can think of anyone less appropriate than you two." Jewel looks out to Nathan, wearing a weak, pleading smile. "Nate?" He smiled meekly. "No problem at all, miss. I'll be your sister's soon-to-be husband best wingman." Jade rolls her eyes. Nathan shrugs. "I mean, it's all fine with me." Jewel's smile grew as she turned to Jade, who unbuckled her seatbelt. "I think I need some air." They all followed her outside. Just in time, Vanessa came walking out from the church, obviously thrilled to see them there. Jewel inhaled a deep breath. She knew once her sister sees these two and approached them, there's no going back. She's just that freaking out. "Glad you guys could come," Vanessa said, turning to Jade. "You must be Jade." She instantly gave the girl a quick hug and a kiss on the cheek. "I'm so grateful you've agreed to be one of my bridesmaids." Jade quickly went stiff at the act and exchanged looks with them, almost terrified. Jewel's on her foot to somehow alleviate the girl's indifference when Jade smiles as Vanessa pulls apart. Sure," she whispered. It will be a pleasure." "Perfect," Vanessa exclaimed, turning to Nathan. "And you must be Nathan." Nathan smiled. "At your service." Soon they were all coaxed to get inside the church for the wedding rehearsal. Jade shot her an odd look, but then it passed, and all she had to give her was a weak, pleading smile. Thankfully, Jade understood and went on with the motion. The priest greeted them, and introductions were made among the rest of the groomsmen and bridesmaids. They were all asked to exit the church once again for the actual walk to the altar. "Are you okay?" Vanessa later asked her, holding a paper bouquet, probably a props to be of that of a real flower bouquet. In front of them were the rest of the attendees, and from a distance, Jade awkwardly waits beside Nathan, barely in the moment. Jewel smiles, turning to her sister. "Yeah, why wouldn't I be?" "I don't know," Vanessa whispered. It's just, there's just something different with you today." She then gave her a long look. "Or maybe it's just that I haven't seen you for that long." "Or maybe it's just because of the wedding jitters," Jewel teased. Come on, your special day is only 6 days away. I think it's normal for you to be all fussy. Vanessa sighs. I guess so. She impatiently bit her lips. Hey, those two friends of yours look gorgeous together. She pointed to Nathan and Jade, and the two caught their looks. Nathan waves. Are they a thing? Jewel smiled to herself. No, they're just them. Vanessa was about to say something when the church organ began playing from the aisle. Soon they were all walking one by one in there, perfecting the rite. Everyone seems floored when the priest smiles lovingly, giving the two couple the traditional permission to kiss. And to everyone's amusement, they willingly did. Later that night, they all went to dinner, and despite Jewel's worries about Jade not coming along, it was Nathan, surprisingly, who made the girl agree to stay for a while. Vanessa began feeding her curiosity about the two. Jewel cast her a reprimanding look time by time, which Vanessa only responds by dismissing it with a smile. How did you know my sister? I almost choked on my wine glass. I opened my mouth to say something, seeing Jade's expression become pale. Luckily, Nathan's charm came into view. We're both Miss Jewel's previous interns in her clinic, Jade and I, and yeah, the bond is just amazing. Well, Jade and I finished the intern hours, and we three, He motioned towards me and Jade, who's sitting beside him drinking awkwardly. Yeah, we just simply became friends. He cleared his throat and smiled. We're so glad we could be a part of your wedding, Miss Vanessa. I mean, even if we haven't met before, we're just so happy for you. Jewel saw Jade tries hard not to roll her eyes. I put the wine glass down, about to say something, when Nathan raised a friendly toast, one they all mirrored. To Miss Vanessa and Mr. Aaron. He raised the half-filled glass of wine. To their happy ever after. To their happy ever after. Everyone said in chorus. It was well past quarter to midnight before they all decided to bid their goodbyes. Vanessa and Aaron sent them farewell in the parking area. Give me a call once you get home, her sister said. I will. She then gave her a quick kiss on the cheeks and turned to her fiancé. Don't let her have cold feet, Aaron. Aaron smirks. Not a chance. It was nice meeting you two, Nathan and Jade. Vanessa whispers to the two, giving them each a hug. I'll see you all in the wedding, okay? Earlier, Jewel couldn't imagine how her plan of fitting these two to the preparations without forcing or rushing things up. But thanks to one of Vanessa's bridesmaids, Lucy, all she had to worry for Nathan and Jade was to be present in the actual wedding day. Good, at least that's one thing off her mind. The other was how she would make up for Jade after all of this is over. We will all be there, Nathan said. Aaron and Vanessa wave as the car starts drifting away. Nathan was the first to be dropped off. He lives pretty near where the rehearsal was conducted. When she pulled the car over, the light from his house entrance was still open. Jewel remembered he shared one time that he lives with his sister. She was probably waiting for him, considering how late it was. He jumped out of the car when Jewel called him, making him stop on his tracks. Thank you for what you did earlier, she said. I mean, for the whole intern to friends thing. He flashes his goofy grin and takes a glance at Jade, sitting silently on the back seat, averting her eyes away. It's nothing. You're most welcome. He contained his smile. I had a great day. Yeah, I think we all did. She replied. Look, about the wedding, you'll both be fine, I promise. And again, I can't thank you enough. What about Philip? He asked. When would we go to finally find him? We'll make time for that, she thoughtfully said. But for this week, we have a wedding first to catch. He nodded and then glanced at Jade, then back to her. Good night, Miss Jewel. Only then Jade turned to meet his stares. Good night, Jade, he whispered. Jewel turns to look at Jade. She saw the girl clearing her throat. Good night, Nathan, Jade whispered back. A smile formed up on his lips, and after tapping the car door lightly, he turned away and walked up to the house door. Jewel started the engine. They were on the road a few minutes in, and Edsa's bright traffic lights and empty lanes welcomed them at every stop. You know, she whispered, Nathan's a really good guy. She looks over at the rear mirror and their eyes meet. He really is, I promise. Jade averted her eyes once more. I know, she whispered a little later. For Jewel, that was more than enough for today. 6 days later, as planned, Vanessa and Aaron are married under a beautiful villa summer afternoon, with the sun beautifully setting. The two said their vows, and after the traditional exchanges of rings, the sweet "you may kiss the bride" tradition followed suit. Everyone was blushing, smiling. Jewel's mother, Veronica, was silently crying as Aaron stooped down to Vanessa, now his wife, as he gave her a soulful, wonderful kiss. The reception were also held at the same villa. The place were surrounded by a couple of melodious songs and claps and gasps of joy, greetings and wistful wishes for the newlywed. White lilacs and tulips beautifully adorned the tables, and soon the couple were called to do their first dance as husband and wife. They all watched as Aaron lovingly swayed Vanessa on the floor, relishing the moment by the romantic voice of the wedding singer, singing one of Ed Sheeran's hit songs. Vanessa giddily asked the rest of the attendees to join them, and so everyone did so. Nathan asked her to dance, but Jewel dismissed him, pointing towards where Jade is. No, you're not doing your first dance with me, mister. They both watch as the girl uncomfortably sits at a table nearby. Nathan suddenly blushed. Come on, you can do it. He tightened his necktie. Okay. She watches him approach Jade and shyly asks her to dance, in which after about a moment of hesitation, the girl agrees. She was a little giddy inside watching the two walk to the dance floor when a familiar old man with gray hair approached her. Her smile widens as he gets nearer. Hey, sweetie. Ramon, her dad says, as he offered his hand. Care to dance with your old man? Absolutely. The ball started filling up so soon, lit by beautiful chandeliers that over highlights the whole space. The sound of sweet champagne being opened and passed around makes the evening more delightful, along with a couple of cheers given to both Aaron and Vanessa. After the usual dance, the speeches had begun, with Aaron telling how she and Vanessa first met, And how did the romance made its way to today's wedding? Jewel sat beside her parents as they all smile at how Aaron jokingly grabbed the microphone up stage. Honestly, I don't know where to begin. Aaron jest, which sends the whole crowd laughing. I mean, how would you begin telling a one special story of your life without being a little emotional and all? He sort of laughed, but his face softened as he looked lovingly at Vanessa. Okay, bear with me for the next few minutes. Everyone laughs until his voice shifts to a serious tone. He began to tell how he met her during one of their classes in history, and he admitted that he was pretty helplessly in love with her since then. But, listen, here's the twist. Your boy couldn't make a move because she was with the school MVP, now her ex. And so, as any hopelessly romantic dude there is, I waited for them to split up. He shrugs. Jewel could tell he had a bit too much to drink by the way he lightly held the microphone. Pretty courageous, right? The crowd laughs again. But I'll have to tell you, I have to tell all of you, it was worth every wait. Because I was waiting for the same woman who I know I would eventually marry one day. I knew it at the first time because I just knew it. That she was the one. The crowd murmurs teasingly. I knew she was the one when she agreed to be my girlfriend. So, this wedding is just for pleasantries, y'all. He laughs, and so did the crowd. In my mind, right then and there, I already married her for life. He now looks to Vanessa. I already married my loving wife without the ceremony and the ring and all. His voice lowered as he struggled with words. And I couldn't be happier to finally formalize it before everyone else. And if I have to shout she's my wife all my life, I will. I will. The crowd roar with laughter. He raises a glass, his eyes tearing up. To my wife. Aaron whispers. To our forever and beyond. I love you. Claps followed suit, and Vanessa couldn't contain her happiness and walked over to Aaron and planted a quick, tender kiss on his lips. She felt a little knot in her chest as Philip's face sprang through her reverie. She closes her eyes for a bit, claps still ringing in her ears. And when she opened them once again, everyone at her table was looking at her. Only when Tina, her cousin, mouthed that it was her turn now to deliver her speech, that she finally came to her senses. She quickly put on a pliant smile as another set of claps escorted her towards the stage. The spotlight caught her right in her face, and the supporting lights dimmed before her. She took a deep breath, her hands cold, holding a glass of wine to be raised for later. When I learned a couple of months ago that my sister Vanessa was going to be married to Aaron, her boyfriend of 6 years, I was filled with bliss. Not only because I know my sister's going to settle down with the man she loves, but I know two beautiful hearts had already found their way to each other and gather us all here to celebrate one of the greatest love stories that we know. She smiled to Vanessa, who now lovingly lay her head down next to her husband's arm. But of course, none of us would be here today if it wasn't for Aaron and his undeniable waiting skill for my sister to be single again. She winked at him, who returned it with a "I got you" point of finger, which sent most listening laughing. He waited for her to love him. And here we are on their most special day, letting us realize that love itself knows no time. It waits. It patiently waits. It really does. Her smile slowly faded as Philip's face flashes again on her mind in pictures, dampening her heart in a snare. There was a tightening curl in her chest, threatening her eyes. She ignored it and went on. I guess what I'm trying to say is, she whispered, love comes by chance. Yes, but how we deal with it makes a difference. Her voice trailed off, and her grip tightened around the glass. The memory of Philip smiling, the words in his letter reappears in her mind, and the thought of him just a few distance away played before her eyes. She winces. What I'm trying to say is, what happened today is a sweet example of how we make use of chances. Chances that change us and who we will be for the rest of our lives. The crowd went silent, and Vanessa had this confused look all over her face. Nathan impatiently stared on his seat while Jade amusedly listened. Aaron got his chance to win Vanessa, and that's why they're together now. He never let go of the chance to win the woman he loves. Her lips quivered. And that makes us realize that it's better for us to work to be worthy of second chances, rather than believe that we deserve them. Her voice broke off, and a tear plopped out from the corner of her eyes until it reached her lips. She puts the back of her hand holding the wine to wipe it out, and awkwardly raised a toast. She clears her throat. To Vanessa and Aaron, she said as she raised the glass. To more chances if they are happy ever after. Everyone followed suit and raised their own glasses, and there was a slow clap that followed. She feigned a smile and gave the host the microphone back and headed towards the backstage. All she knew is she was running back to her hotel room. People from the reception are whispering. She opened the room's balcony door, and she watches the wide acres of villa gleam tenderly with the lamplights stalled in almost every corner of the space. The moon above is shining a little, and she catches her breath, squinting on its glow. There's a satin wrap on the door, and Vanessa marches in on her wedding dress. Jewel turned around, unable to say anything, as her sister reaches for her hand. What happened down there? Vanessa asked, concerned. Are you all right? She shook her head, biting her lip, but when her sister asked what is it all about again, she knew there was no use hiding it. And so, on a sob, she began telling all what she had to go through to finally meet Philip again. A few minutes later, they sat in silence. They were sitting at the edge of her bed. Vanessa had this far-off look in her eyes, as if trying to take it all in one piece. So you're still finding him? Vanessa asked. Yeah, she said. I guess I've been too much in my head to not realize this is the only chance I got after all these years. She bit her lip. I guess I just want to tell him that I'm sorry for being not open to him about what we are and what we could be. For letting him feel all this pain he made clear on his letters. God, he deserves so much more from me. And I know this is stupid, but it's all I know. I want to find him, see him. If not for me, then at least for what he has for me. She swallowed a lump in her throat. At least for what we could have possibly had. Vanessa fell silent, and she had been too. You know, you reminded me of some pop stars who wrote songs about their flings that they never got to keep. Vanessa whispered all of a sudden. Really? She said. Pop stars? She let out a desperate sigh. What do they have to do with me? Vanessa moved a little closer to her. There's one who wrote this song for her ex-lover because she wanted to go back to the time when she could have loved him better. She just looks at her sister, wanting to hear more. And then there's another who also wrote another song about the one she loved that got away, with the regret of bringing back the guy she wished to have ended with, but she didn't. Jewel smiles a little, trying to connect these things with her. You see, you're both what these two pop stars had gone through, and the way I see it, you don't have to write any songs or sing about how terrible you feel letting this Philip go. I mean, he's not really gone, is he? Yeah, she whispered. I got his office address. It's somewhere in Camarines Sur. I plan to go to him after your wedding. Vanessa gave her a steady, serious look. Why wait? Well, I need to sort out my schedule and... Why don't you go right now? Jewel looks back at her. What? You should go to him at once. She shot her sister an odd look. I'm serious. Come on, I'll drive you to the airport myself. Vanessa stands up, lifting her dress up. No, Vanessa, this wouldn't do any of us good. It's your wedding day, for crying out loud. No, don't think about me. It's a perfect wedding day. It has been a perfect wedding day. No, please, I already ruined it for you. With a speech and everything that follows us here. No, Vanette, just no. I don't care. We'll get you out of that dress. I'll let you catch the first plane to Philip. Are you out of your mind? What about your wedding? What about Aaron? Vanessa gave her a reassuring pat on her shoulder. Don't worry about him. I'm sure he'll understand. And I vowed to have him all my life, remember? She touched her chin. I just don't want you to spend the rest of your days or even years wondering about this Philip. Her sister starts going through her closet, packing her things instantly. Jewel watches, unable to observe the absurdity of it all. This is crazy, Jewel said. I know, Vanessa exclaims, turning back to her, laughing. It's always the crazy part that makes everything worth doing. Vanessa. I don't want to hear another Vanessa once again. She quickly closed her luggage zipper and stretched the handle. Jewel was surprised at how fast her sister had it. Vanessa? Come on, she nags. Go catch her the one that got away.